Oh, so Jim, I called Middletown.
What? He would have liked
So I called Middletown yesterday. I can order online, but I still go through the dealership. And they will take the order in. Or I can go to the dealership and order it. But it's a 2 to 3 week process. But at least I guess it's covered the first time. Yeah, what I'm going to do is this week I'll finish everything that we got to finish. Get that done Those must be the teachers, right?
So was I, though.
Yeah, you
So guess who was the dirty stakeout on Saturday?
Take out my soccer yells when we go to the games and we start really
Oh, no, I see her.
Does she need some? Does she need some? No. I'm saying, I thought that would talk to her. Then they would want to. She said that you were the end of the alcohol. Also, your class, I think, went toward
No, we had a lot of like T's and P's and W's. We had a lot. Yeah, that's really big.
No, we still had like 10 more people like to meet.
I took mine, yeah. I put it under my dress so I put my like robe and everything and shove it down my pants. I know some people they're putting like in their bra. Oh, they're still wearing.
Thank you. Mine was under 2. Yeah, it was under 2 liters. And I'm surprised because you were a millennium baby and they said a lot of them were
You're not everyone's mom. Parker had 2 girls. Somebody got the teachers in the office came right over to him with ropes and everything. I was laughing. The mom groups, this is part of the mom group, they were texting like an hour before we were coming.
I did it early today.
Yep, I see her.
I brought her to the dry cleaner and had it pressed because I know
Is it there right there, right? Like by the 3rd shed?
You know what I think is part of this? I can't. I was like, and I think that's a big part of it, and I think
front of it. Right. In front on this side, you see, like there's 4 reds in a row.
I know he's towards the back.
They're the first 2. Right.
I thought I was going to die. I was walking. Oh my god. That's horrible. Are you kidding me? Ice packs, dude.
No, she used for the water. She got a water. What about no, she's leaving it. That's it.
Yeah, so he's got to be towards the back group. I mean, he should be able to tell us half of the group already.
I don't want to talk to days. It's over. Just stay on my parents would say stuff. No.
What's nice is they have
Here we go.
Or sometimes he would be like, skip this. It's $10. Oh yeah. The way it was kindergarten.
that was so cute. Is that
That's kindergarten. That was from, he went to kindergarten. It wasn't on purpose. He went to kindergarten. Just so you know, he doesn't know.
That was the original dude. Like, dude, little like this. So they really freak people out.
Do you think someone's going to pull it this year? Do you think someone's going to pull it this year? Very good, didn't he? He almost takes somebody.
All the Catholics, we had none of that happen over the battle royale.
That lasted me so long. I really appreciate it. Oh, and she loved it too. It was so nice. That was only with me for like my birthday and stuff. Well, she's got one for like her school.
Oh yeah, I get to know that. So people couldn't.
No, they suck.
Where's your person? Up front or?
He's in the apps, so he's gonna be like.
Alright, so when you stand up, I'll hold you. You good? I won't throw you down there. Because mine's are turned his back.
I'll hold on to you too, so you can fall.
I don't plan on falling.
I'm one of those people, you can knock it over, well, break it,
Yeah,
trip
yeah,
over
yeah.
it, this is.
Just tell me when I got you. So when you feel shaky, you good?
I think so.
Alright.
All right, so we're in D.
Yeah, I covered
Yes, I see it. Is that him right there?
Is that Parker right there?
Short grass, right? Looks so solemn, really. It does. That's him. I'm taking a picture. I don't know.
We'll find out later when you blow it out.
I'm blowing it up. While you're way up here, you can call over there. Picture woman, your name's on it.
right there.
He's number 14 from the other It makes it easier to find him because you look in the back.
Stand the whole time as soon as I'm there to say.
I'm actually looking at the person next to Troy saying I saw Troy. I see Troy.
That cloud should be my side.
I get a towel.
But I want to see you win.
He's shaking like a tree squirrel.
You know what? Maybe he didn't show up. It's fine.
Shaking his ass.
Good evening and welcome. If you could all please rise for singing our national anthem by esteemed members of our chamber singers.
There, ready? Here we go. Almost there. And focus. Perfect.
of applause for our senior members of our chamber singing Bulletproof Transition. I'd like to welcome up to our podium our Student Council Executive President, Mr. Kendrick Thiessen. Mr. Thiessen.
That sun could just set a little lower. All right, you guys can sit. Welcome and good evening, everyone. My name is Kendrick Thiessen, the Student Council Executive President, and I'm honored to be speaking up here today. Before I get into my message to the class of 2022, I want to thank the various parties who are here in attendance today. First, thank you to the family and friends for coming and supporting a student here today. Thank you to the faculty and staff for being crucial members here at High Point and helping us, the graduates, get here today. Thank you to the administrators, Board of Education members, for doing the work behind the scenes we, the students, might not necessarily see, but know is important for the stability of High Point. So, class of 2022, we are finally here at our graduation. We've been expecting this moment for a long time. This is the day we get to celebrate our accomplishments by graduating high school and becoming adults. This day is a huge change in our lives. Tomorrow, we aren't going to wake up and get ready to go to High Point. High school is officially over. We're growing up. Though it is over, don't forget your time here. Remember the fond memories with your friends here. After all, I don't think a lot of us are going to look back at the exams we took and say, man, I really miss those. Now, I'm not trying to undervalue the staff members here and the education team here. Education is important after all, and I ask everyone to be a lifelong learner. But the memories of our youth, we will miss more. We will miss the times we all got to meet at the senior tables at lunch. The times on the sports teams where you just have that close family in the soccer teams or the wrestling teams. We'll miss the gym classes. I'll definitely miss Duff's yelling in my gym class. We'll miss even the parties. We'll miss being naive to the world and just being kids. These things we will miss most. These moments are more cherishable than the diploma we are about to receive. These moments are our youth. Changes like graduating from high school will happen continuously. Nothing in this world is permanent except change. And I think the past 2 years have proved that we are living in an ever-changing world. Now, I don't know about the rest of you, but I despise change. I wish things could stay the way they are, but I know that's foolish to think. Sometimes change can be sad, but sometimes change can be happy and surprising, like graduating from high school. So, where do you take all that information? Class of 2022, I want to give you advice to keep growing, to keep living, reach your goals and achieve your endeavors no matter the cost. It's been a pleasure working as your Student Council Executive President. I will miss it. Thank you guys for the memories. Good luck, and God bless the class of 2022.
Thank you, Kendrick. I'd like to welcome our senior class president, Matt LeBar.
Good evening and welcome everyone. If you do not already know me, I am Matthew LeBar, and I've been your class president all throughout our time at High Point. It's crazy to think that we're finally here, graduation. I remember walking through the doors in the fall of 2018 for freshman orientation and feeling a bit overwhelmed, thinking, there are so many kids here, I don't even know who half of them are. And I remember everyone telling me, these next 4 years will fly by, and I didn't believe them. It felt like forever getting to know each other through classes, sports, clubs, and other school activities. I especially remember on the whale watch trip when we were all going out to the balconies to each other's rooms, even though we were told not to. Then, before we knew it, the school year came to a close and we were off to year 2 of high school. Sophomore year started, and it was just another year. From football games to spirit days, we made memories that will last a lifetime. Just as we thought this would be any other year of school, it was quite the opposite. We were told we'd be getting a 2-week vacation for reasons at the time I didn't pay attention to. This 2-week vacation just grew and grew. We went from pajama day once every spirit week to a new normal. Another new normal was seeing each other in the halls and hanging out every day. And to be honest, sometimes it still feels like we were sophomores waiting for spring break. Sophomore year morphed into junior year with more online classes. Although some of us went into school last year, others opted to stay home. In person, school was something like we never could have imagined. At the start of the school year, not only were we all hoping we would be in the same classes as our friends, but the same cohort. And even though we were back in the building, it was like a whole new experience. Class sizes seemed to average 5 kids, and we had to stay 6 feet apart at all times. Man, I was surprised when I walked into physics on the first day back, and I was the only kid in the class. As the year went on, we became more accustomed to this new ideology of school. The mask mandates and the rules about social distancing were ever-changing, and there was never consistency with what we had to follow. However, we persevered, and before we knew it, our last year here was right around the corner. Senior year started the same way junior year ended. Masks, social distancing, and still no consistency. Although football games didn't change much, homecoming definitely looked different. When I first heard the idea of having homecoming in a barn, I thought, wasn't that the most Sussex County thing I've ever heard? And just a few days later, we were back on the dance floor for senior formal. Well, after we had our own little dance party in the parking lot because we didn't have any power. Even though the food wasn't great, the dancing made up for it. In the beginning of February, we found out that masks were no longer required in school. The only catch was that we had to wait 1 more month for this to be put into place. A long month later, it was finally optional to wear a mask, only a week shy of the 2-year anniversary of our initial COVID shutdown. From there, the year started to pick up. The chatter about finals started, but more excitingly, prom. Even though High Point hasn't had a senior prom in decades, it was fine. It was one of the best nights of our high school careers. Then just a short 2 weeks later, we were off to another great adventure. Six Flags, great adventure. Despite it being really hot, we all made the best of it, along with more long-lasting memories. And now, it's graduation day, the day we've been waiting for since freshman year. But like our high school experiences, we will be faced with many challenges and many unknowns. Who is better prepared to face the future than a generation of people who prevailed through a pandemic, right? As we head into our futures, I want you to remember one more thing. Once a Wildcat, always a Wildcat. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Now we're going to have a choral selection by our senior concert choir. Beautiful job, concert choir. Thank you very much. Another round of applause as I go back to Super Duper song. Thank you. And I'd like to welcome up our salutatorian, Olivia Worthington. Olivia?
Good evening, everyone. Teachers, administrators, friends, and family, thank you all for celebrating this milestone with us. And thank you, Joe, for letting me borrow your sunglasses. It is an incredible honor to be speaking here today about us and our futures. And I am beyond grateful for the entire High Point community for helping me get here. To everyone in our class of 22, congratulations. We made it through the past 4 years. We got here with our caps and gowns, and now we're being inducted into the real world. Being and acting like adults is sure to be a challenge for us, but the years that lie ahead are all promising. Maybe you're the first in your family to go to college, or the first to finish, the first to be an educator or an engineer, an artist or a therapist, start your own business or your own research. All of our futures will look different and be unique to us as individuals, but we'll all meet new people, make some experiments, and find our best fit in life. However cliche it sounds, I trust that we're all going to do great things. Above all, I'm an optimist. I have faith in all of you and in our generation to take this world in our hands and treat it more kindly, to pick up the problems we've inherited and to act with all of our best interests in mind. That is our shared project as young adults. And there is no one way to define great things. Some of us might achieve them through our careers, our families, or our neighborhoods. Small instances of having a good heart can add up. Ultimately, all of us affect the people in our lives, and it is up to us to make that effect positive. I encourage you all to take care of yourselves and those around you. Find what makes you happy and cherish it, and give back to your communities, wherever they may be and wherever you end up. Not to get too sentimental, but I'd like to share something from my pop. He drew something for me once with the words, "A candle loses nothing when it lights another." And he's right. We lose nothing when we are generous, when we treat others with respect, when we share and act for the common good. I hope you can all find lives where you are happy and fulfilled. Good luck to all of you. Congratulations again, and happy Pride Month. Thank you.
Thank you, Vivian. Congratulations again. Good job. We'd like to have our band selection by our concert band, led by Mr. Slaney and Mr. Carroll.
Tilt down a little bit so you get in the center. Perfect. Okay, you can grab this. Yes. Almost there. So your shot set. And then look right, big right. And you just nice. As soon as you start
Another round of applause for our concert band. Now let's welcome up our valedictorian for the class of 2022, Mr. Joseph Pauls. Joe?
Let's go!
Good evening. It's truly a privilege to be standing here in front of such a wonderful group of my own classmates. And know that when we leave in just a few short hours, hopefully, we will be leaving as men and women on the way to the rest of our lives. The last 4 years have been eventful, to say the least. A question I sometimes hear is, I wonder what part of our lives is going to go in the history books. What's going to be on the U.S. history exam in 2050? I think we all know the answer to that by now. But instead of talking about the C word that we've become all too familiar with these last 2 years, I want to talk about a different virus. 100 years ago, my great-grandfather came to America as Ignatius Pulauskas. I guess Paul's was better for immigration. And not long after, faced the Spanish flu pandemic in 1918. His mother, using the great medical knowledge of the time, pulled him out of school, kept him in quarantine, and gave him a daily regimen of hot tea and spiced rum. And there were no Zoom classes or virtual snow days. Fortunately, he survived, setting in motion the course of events that allowed me to be standing here today. Upon returning to school, however, half of his classmates were gone. So thank God for the progress we've made these last 100 years. Let's be thankful for the opportunity of a high school education. Let's be thankful for the opportunity of higher education, where bright men and women are able to devote their lives to learning how to prevent what happened when my great-grandfather was our age. Sure, the quadratic formula might not seem very useful in many of our futures, but I believe the point of high school is learning how to learn. So, I'd like to give a huge thank you to all of the amazing teachers here at High Point. We are now equipped with the ability to go wherever life takes us and succeed. When we're handed our diplomas, it's gonna feel great. They're red and shiny and mean that we don't have to wake up at 6 a.m. anymore to go to school. But their real value, their real meaning is in what they represent. Each and every diploma is the capstone for the last 18 years of our lives. When our parents taught us to say please and thank you. When we learned how to share at recess. When we had to do our first PowerPoint presentation. When we got our first part-time job. When we went on our 6 hours of driving with Mr. Hensel in the passenger seat. When we rolled out of bed to join virtual gym class. And every other experience that has molded us into the exceptional individuals that you see seated around me. High Point has given me the opportunity to meet so many people from such broad backgrounds with such diverse goals. I know no future lawyers, professional athletes, doctors, engineers, physicists, politicians, teachers, artists, Marines, construction workers, and our very own farmers of Sussex County. As the last student to address everyone, I'd like to say my thank yous and goodbyes. On behalf of the class of 2022, thank you again, teachers, administrators, guidance counselors, school security, coaches, and all the parents and family members that helped us get to where we are today. I hope you all realize the lasting impact you've had on this class and this great school. High Point will forever be a part of our lives, even as we all go our separate ways tonight. And finally, to my fellow students, congratulations, we did it. And if I had to give one piece of advice, it would be to never stop trying to improve yourself. Because if gas prices can grow to twice the price in a few months, who's to say we can't improve a little every day? Thank you.
Good job, Jordan. Congratulations again. Our next musical selection is by our senior members of our concert choir. Senior members of the concert choir.
Together, 'cause you're my
Great job. Another round of applause for our senior members of the concert choir. I'd like to give a warm Wildcat re-welcome back to Ms. Kristen Polskenis, who's going to be our honorary alumnus address. Kristen.
Thank you. I am very honored to stand before you speaking at your commencement. I graduated from High Point more than a decade ago. This school was invaluable in preparing me for my future. I recall sitting in your seats, and I feel blessed to be able to offer you a few words of wisdom, the kind of wisdom that would have been helpful to me and that I hope is helpful to you as you look towards your future. I would like to share with you a concept that has helped me achieve my goals. It's a concept that can be summed up in 3 words, and these 3 words are best illustrated with something I first began learning here at High Point as a teenager. Beginning here at High Point and continuing through college and law school, I participated in mock trial, which is where students hold legal proceedings for learning purposes based on made-up case facts. The activity is intended to develop public speaking and presentation skills, among other things. In doing so, my coaches often discussed speaking presentation skills, and one of these techniques goes just beyond speaking and presentation. It has formed the basis for what I think has helped me to accomplish what I want in my life, which is what I'm hoping to share with you. The technique is called move with purpose. Most of the time, when you speak in court, you do what some call stand and deliver. You stand like a potted plant in one spot while you make your point with your arms down at your sides. However, when you want to emphasize a point or accomplish a particular goal with what you're saying, you move. You make a hand gesture, for instance, or you turn to look at something you're talking about. The move with purpose technique says that when you do that, you don't do it halfway or with a tiny imperceptible movement, because it looks uncertain and distracting, which undermines what you're saying. When you move, you do it powerfully and intentionally to accomplish a specific goal. You move with purpose. So as you sit at this important turning point, I urge you to consider how you can move with purpose in your own life. Set goals for yourself and make plans to reach them, rather than waiting for opportunities to come to you. If you have a dream, a chosen career, a relationship, a skill, whether that be something more like sports or something more like learning to listen better to others, it is near impossible to reach your dream without a deliberate plan. You have the power to shape events instead of having events shape you. So take time to think about what you want, to develop a concrete plan to get there, and then to move with purpose to achieve your goals. Now, moving with purpose and setting and reaching goals deliberately and intentionally is important. But remember, you don't do it all the time. In fact, most of the time, in a courtroom, you aren't moving with purpose, you're standing still. Not every moment has to be goal-oriented or moving at all. Many of them shouldn't be. As you're pursuing your goals, take care that you don't miss out on experiencing the life you're living and putting just as much, if not more, effort into building positive relationships with others, taking pride in what you've already accomplished, relaxing and living in the moment. Move with purpose, but don't forget to also stand still. I want to leave you with one last thought. Words that I would have really treasured when I was in high school. So words that I'm hoping you all will be happy to hear. To those of you who feel like maybe you don't fit in, who aren't who your peers expect you to be, who feel like outsiders, who have strange hobbies, who feel different from others, I'm willing to bet that's far more of you than I think you as individuals may realize. I'm here to tell you, stay unique, stay special, stay strange. Embrace the individuality of who you are. Because I have good news for you. Your time is coming. People who seem different in high school, in my experience, turn into interesting, original, unique people with special skills and talents. Don't be afraid to explore unusual paths, to pursue goals that interest you, but maybe don't interest the people sitting around you in high school. Most certainly, learn to use what makes you different as an advantage to you. Different facets of your unique personality are appropriate at different times. But don't lose that spark that makes you unusual. The time is coming when you will start to find people who are just as wonderfully different as you. And you will find that as your gifts continue to reveal themselves, you will be celebrated. I promise you, that time is starting now. Thank you.
Thank you, Kristen. Excellent job. I'd like to welcome up our board president, Mr. Wayne Dunn.
They've made it. They have done it. This class of hardworking, ambitious, and determined young adults have reached the very pinnacle of their secondary education and will graduate here today. They have toiled, struggled, and climbed ever upward and have now literally reached the highest point of 12 years of schooling at a place called, quite appropriately, High Point. I'm Wayne Dunn, the president of the High Point Board of Education, and I am humbled to be here as a representative of this institution to play a small part in properly recognizing and celebrating the High Point Regional High School Class of 2022. I'd like to welcome you all here today. A very special welcome to parents, relatives, and friends of our graduates. Welcome to our dedicated faculty and staff, and welcome to our tireless administrators, Superintendent Ripley, and my fellow board members. As this class now turns toward venturing out into the broader world, be that off to college, into the military, or directly into a new career, undoubtedly, there will be lingering anxieties about what lies in store for them on the paths ahead. In his 1933 presidential inauguration speech, Franklin O.D. Roosevelt famously offered the often quoted line, "We have nothing to fear but fear itself." This came during a time in our history not so unlike what we've all recently lived through. The United States was desperately trying to emerge from the Great Depression, and pretty much everyone was looking for some positive message to let them know things were going to get better, and soon. Our graduates here have spent much of their recent formative years in various stages of lockdown, leading some to states of Great Depression of their own. And they are now coming to age in a world that has perfected the mechanisms with which to deliver us messages of fear. Fear of all sorts, from the innocuous and trivial, like not getting enough sleep, doing poorly on an exam, drinking soda with a plastic straw, no less, or failing to extend your car warranty. Fears also surround the more weighty and thorny issues like climate change, dangerous viruses, political leanings, ethnic diversity, school safety, and alternate lifestyles. Understand, though, Roosevelt was no more suggesting to America of the 1930s that they should be reckless than I am, by way of this analogy, that our graduates should carelessly dismiss any and all fears and ignorantly forge ahead. He was simply conveying the sentiment that fear, in and of itself, can be paralyzing and prevent any action in the face of adversity. I'd like to expand that point a bit and offer the humble advice to our graduates that you should neither accept fear as the reason for not doing something, nor yet should it be the sole motivator toward taking any action either. In other words, to the extent possible within your own being, be wary consumers of the vast amounts of information that are heaped upon you every day. Please continue to be curious and question whatever comes your way. And as the educator, author, and entrepreneur Stephen Covey wrote as the fifth and my favorite of his 7 habits of highly effective people, seek first to understand, then to be understood. Seek first to understand, and then to be understood. Contrary to contemporary wisdom, it is okay to be empathetic to those around you with opposing views and beliefs. In no way does it compromise your values to be offered a glance through a window into others' lives and motivations. You all now have your own stories to tell, and those stories will continue to expand. And it's absolutely okay to be proud of those individual achievements that you've worked so hard to obtain. But today's world needs you to be the best you can be, right alongside everyone else who are also trying to be the best that they can be. And here's the little secret. Their definition of best will invariably differ from your own. The universe may find ways of arbitrarily dividing you, and ironically, we've even managed to do that here with half of you on the left and half of you on the right. But while your collective paths will diverge from this point forward, you all share a common foundation as a wildcat that I'm confident will serve you well, and I'm hopeful you will not soon forget. So I'd like to first congratulate the High Point class of 2022. Welcome. And thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dunn. Good evening. Welcome to the class of 2022 graduation. A special thank you, as you've heard before, to our Board of Education members, Dr. Ripley, fellow administrators, faculty members, honored guests, and most importantly, you, the class of 2022, your family and friends that are here to see you. As a culminating activity, graduation truly is a team effort. This beautiful ceremony, on this beautiful day, on the most beautiful campus in New Jersey, would not be possible without my administrative assistant, Mrs. Brummel, the AV support of Mr. Perry, Mr. Yardley, and Mr. Fenlon, and the support of the custodial grounds and maintenance staff. Can we give them all a round of applause, please? Congratulations to all of our parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and all the family members that are here today or watching somewhere in the world on live stream. Wow, what a year it's been. But here we are to celebrate you, the class of 2022. Can we get a shout out and a thank you for our parents class? See if you can find mom in the crowd, dad in the crowd. As you saw this evening, we had many of our staff leading our students out. I want to congratulate many of our retiring staff. Mrs. Acker, Mr. Chaparino, Mrs. Darren, Mrs. Hatler, Mrs. Koch, Mr. Murray, Ms. Ryerson, Mrs. Smith, Mrs. Vandergroof, Mrs. Walton, and Mrs. Zeitz. We wish you the best of luck in your next chapter, and we thank you for your years of dedication to High Point staff. Also this evening, as you saw leading the class out, is our dedicated staff. Congratulations to all of you for another successful year. You have played such an important role in the lives of our students, and this has undoubtedly been the toughest year that educators have ever faced. But through it all, you showed them what matters. You showed them your heart, you showed them your kindness, your compassion, and dedication every day. And I'm honored to walk alongside of you. A big round of applause for all of our staff here this evening. All right, now for our guests of honor. Class of 2022. It's difficult to find just the right words to use when offering a graduation speech. I've contemplated this task for many hours, many days, considering the message that I wanted to share with you tonight. I would like to begin with a quote by Michael Josephson. Take pride in how far you've come. Have faith in how far you can go. But don't forget to enjoy the journey. Over your high school career, you have heard me, staff members, and your parents say, we are proud of you. But what is most important to ask is, Are you proud of yourself? Being proud of yourself is not based on academics or athletic or extracurricular achievements alone. It is about being proud of who you are and how you treat people. Being proud of juggling 2 or 3 jobs, sports, theater, band, choir, clubs, and friendships, all while being a good person. We all know how difficult the last 2 years have been, but one of the most important keys to success, as you only can define it, is having faith in yourself and believing you can accomplish your goal, even when we're at the bottom of the mountain, staring straight up. At our senior awards, it said that time is precious, and we all need to stop more and enjoy the moments and the journey. We are all guilty of looking forward to the next big thing, and we often miss the awesome one that's right in front of us. For all you country fans out there, I know there's a couple. Kenny Chesney sings his Don't Blink song, so I've been trying to slow it down. I've been trying to take it in. In this here today, gone tomorrow world we're living in. Life goes faster than you think, so don't blink. Last June we blinked, and suddenly it was September 2021, the beginning of this school year. This year began, we were all like, thank goodness, everything will be back to normal. And then it wasn't. We had to learn how to learn again. We had to learn how to communicate with each other. We had to learn how to treat each other kindly. We had to learn how to have fun again. And along the way, we celebrated the senior formal, the senior prom, the scholarship dinner, the senior trip, and so many more moments in between. And I hope that you stopped and enjoyed each one. We have seen the class of 2022 grow so much over the past year. We have seen you lean on each other, laugh with each other, and cry with each other. Never underestimate the impact you can have by just being there for someone or sharing a smile. Author Neil Gaiman writes, now go and make interesting mistakes, make amazing mistakes, make glorious and fantastic mistakes. Break rules, leave the world more interesting for you being here. Mistakes are meant to be made in life, but sometimes we spend too much time trying to avoid making mistakes rather than learning how to fail forward and learn from our personal experiences. Society and the world around us sometimes present this perfect and fake appearance of what life should look like. But the reality is that life is riddled with all of us making beautiful mistakes. The question we should be asking is, what can we learn from our mistakes? And how can these essential lessons make us better people, better friends, better humans? You are ready. You will forge on. Go make your mark on this world. It's going to be a much better place because of the positive impact you will have on it. Throughout this very difficult year, you have shown us all what lies with each one of you, and for that, you should stand tall and stand proud. Class of 2022, I love you, proud of you, may God bless you. Now let's introduce our superintendent, Dr. Scott Ripley.
It's short. Listen, I want to welcome our community here, and I just want to say congratulations, parents, as I try to get through this You know, I have pictures of many of you when you were little, participating in wrestling or blowing bubbles on the front page of the Herald. And the impossibility of your adulthood is here today. I miss those little kids, but I am incredibly proud to stand here before you and celebrate you. Congratulations. This world into which you are stepping is far less predictable than that of your parents in past decades. That unpredictability is likely rather disquieting. However, it will be your choices and your beliefs which will define your future, irrespective of the clamor of an anxious world. I believe that there is a definitive course that will lead to a life of purpose, peace, influence, and honor. Overcome and endure life and its sufferings with patience and self-reflection. Be kind and thoughtful. Do not boil over with jealousy or envy. Do not be haughty. Do Do not brag or be arrogant. Do not be rude, discourteous, or self-seeking, nor easily provoked, nor overly sensitive or easily angered. Pay no attention to a suffered wrong. Do not rejoice at injustice, but rather rejoice in the truth when right and truth prevail. Bear all things, regardless of what comes. Believe in and trust others so as to see the best in all people. Never lose hope, but remain steadfast during difficult times. Endure all things without weakening. All of your human reason, intellect, ability, and life experience will fall short. But one principle is absolutely certain. Love never fails. It is never defeated. It never fades. It never comes to an end. Love is that which has and will save the world. Remember that each of one of you are so deeply loved that you have no idea. Go, live a life of purpose, dignity, honor, and selflessness. Sow seeds of love and thereby change your world for the better. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Ripley. Now we call go time. We have a presentation of our diplomas, started off by our class advisor, Mrs. Leslie Bansky. Mrs. Bansky.
Joseph Raphael Pauls. Olivia Worthington. Ethan John Abate. Elizabeth A. Arendt. Bryn Alame. Charles G. Antcliffe. George Alexander Arkalakis. Talia Rose Alisi. Matthew Azzolino. Hawa Bangora. Gabriella G. Barilari. Haley Lauren Barron. Lindsay Barton. Theodore E. Basilvich. Brandon S. Belazaire. Teddy F. Bona. Olivia G. Barino. Kenna Lynn Boudelette. Andrew Robert Breveau. Nathan Benjamin Brotman. Emily J. Brunner. Isabella S. Bouchel. Vaughn Antonio V. Bolero. Vaughn Jeffrey Burnell. Robert Nicholas Bush. Kyle W. Cairns.
Matthew William Labar. Kendrick Daniel Thiessen. Amanda B. Campbell. Anthony B. Cantagallo. Harrison Alexander Cardinal. Angelina Carlson. Hunter Carney. Mackenzie Carr. Alfred Jaden Castellani. Allison E. Catania. Amanda Elizabeth Celentano. Kira Chismar. John Christensen. Kyle Robert Clark. Podrick Clark. Ariana Kojucaro. Kevin William Colarusso. Cassandra R. Conklin. David William Conklin. Brian M. Connors. Kimberly L. Corvino. Caitlin M. Kreitz. Carlin Cronin. Colin Cronin. Isabella C. D'Ambrosi. Melanie K. Carlson.
Jaheim G. Dawson. Hawken DeWall. Kaylee Marie Deming. Ansley Alexandria DeWitt. Dylan D. Del Palma. Aiden Richard Dolan. Adira Hope Donatello. Stephen Dong. William N. Dowling. Hannah Grace Doyle. Brianna Elizabeth Dunn. Jasmine Tasia Duraney. Kyle J. Duzich. Taylor Dwyer Barker. Haley P. Dykstra. Isabel M. Epperly. Hannah M. Feliz. Adrian M. Fansera. Alexis Jade Fearick. Audrey Catherine Flannery. Caitlin I. Fletcher. Parker I. Fulham. Noelle Elizabeth Gaffney. Jason Galveo. Chauncey Gail Gebauer. Thomas J. Gilmore.
Riley P. Glasser. Jeremy L. Gould. Brian A. Haggerty. Sarah Isabella Arnett. Cassandra Higgins. Anastasia Hugaboom Saluka. Nicole D. Holman. Kaylee Holder. Ethan Horn. Trista Ann Howe. Jack E. Howell. Juan C. Hughes. Erica Inglima. Maria Licata Johnson. Rachel Jones. Danielle Jertishin. Patrick Kelleher. William Kelleher. Casey Quinlan Kelly. Riley Kent. Aiden Kinney. Logan T. Kraus. Brandon Kubiak. Donovan Michael Langen. Kaylee Langenbach. Madison Lau.
Gordon Lynn. Anthony M. Leota. Ilana Cici Lisboa. Sophia Lombardo. Eliza J. Longcore. Marcella Madewell. Dylan Mangan. Gianna Marie Morangi. Hope Kellyanne Mardrum. Peyton M. Martris. Matthew D. Mason. Rachel K. Mason. Alexander J. Mazzari. Miguel A. Matos. Marissa Montana Mayernick. Macy Nicole Maisie White. Tyler McCaffrey. Rebecca L. McCullum. Andrew Meichner. Donna J. Merkel. Evan M. Messina. Tyler J. Meza. Luke Stephen Westward Malone. Jaylene R. Morales. Matthew J. Morgan.
Marley Jane Morosis. Angelique M. Morris. Crystal D. Morris. Mary Catherine Murphy. Victoria E. Nolan. Abigail G. Nosel. Vincent Novak. Reckon Osea. Jada Rianne O'Connell. Tanner Okeson. Veronica Marie Pagliaro. Desiree Panion. Nicholas Carmelo Pecha. Jack D. Pellegrino. Paige Olivia Peoples. Samantha Danielle Perez. Jada Nicole Petrillo. Eric Charles Piero. Tyler Davis Piankowski. Austin A. Preziosi. Kelly Michelle Polkstenis. Cody Razimovich. William Aaron Rasmussen. Alexis M. Reed. Adriel J. Resta Barbosa. Noah David Ripley.
Emma Lucia Rossi. Haley Grace Rossi.
Haley!
Leah Grace Ruvo. Madison Grace Sabato. Jacob Sabella. Helena Sargent. Felicity Rose Madeline Schmidt. Esther Marie Schweinberg. Sage A. Schattinger. Preston Edward Sharrock. Christopher R. Sicoli. Luke Simonelli. Alyssa M. Smolinski. Brian D. Soldano. David William Soma. Matthew Starker. Destiny Amore Steele. Eric K. Stellman. Alexandra Stoner. Sahas Suri. Nicholas J. Tansky.
Liam Daniel Tennant. Luke Patrick Thatcher. Dominique Bella Lucia Thiessen. Troy L. Tiger. Gretchen Tornaveni. Kevin E. Torres Quintanilla. Clayton A. Utter. Justin M. Van Horn. Tyler J. Van Houten. Bridget Joyce Van Wingerden. Joseph Daniel Vance. Samuel D. Vandenheuvel. Anna Volpe. Jason Travis Wagoner. Jessica Way. Isabel Ann Weissman. Ra Valesian. Patrick Wright. Logan E. Yanoff. Rebecca Claire Yetter. Paige S. Young.
By virtue of the power invested in me by the Board of Education, I, as principal of High Point Regional High School, I certify that the graduates receiving diplomas here today have subsequently completed their graduation requirements as stipulated by High Point Regional High School and New Jersey State Board of Education. I'd like to have the class of 2022 rise on up. Gonna flip our tassels right to left. Congratulations, class of 2022.
Yeah, Miss Eager Beaver. All right, boss, it was a pleasure, brother. All right, you're the one with the problem with standing. Your leg fall asleep?
No, he's got a
bad leg? Oh, okay. Well, it was a pleasure.
It's nice meeting you.
It was. And listen, God bless with everything in you.